Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the end of the San Francisco 49ers season. I know that I have not made a video for the last 2 weeks. A little part of that was because of the Christmas holiday break, and a little bit about not making videos for the 49ers, because I've made videos, at least 2 videos a week about the Niners for the last 3 seasons. This season as a fan has been honestly really hard, and I felt that honestly as a fan, my videos had gotten very negative. And now that this season is over, we can take the 2015 season, we can crumple it up and we can throw it into the trash. There was there was a lot of negative. There was a lot of bad points in this season for the San Francisco 49ers. There was a little bit of hope. You can easily say that we came out of the gate not thinking that we were going to be a great football team. We played exceptionally well in week 1. Easily the best game of the entire season for us. We beat the Vikings, and I think it put a lot of false hope into a lot of 49er fans and an entire NFL. From there, we lost game after game. We played a series of 3 games in a row. Off the top of my head, I think it was it might have been the Steelers, the Packers, and somebody else where we lost all 3 games. But I think that honestly, there are really no moral victories on a team that finishes 5-11. But you got to take some things away from there and at least say, hey, we're moving, we're starting to get better. This Rams game, we won 19-16. Phil Dawson kicked the winner in overtime after we blocked the opposing team's field goal. Antoine Bolden had a really nice touchdown at the beginning of the game. There was a few nice plays. Quentin Patton set up the game-winning a drive when he caught a 33-yard pass and made his way down, setting up the field goal for Dawson. Blaine Gabbert, I will say, was honestly a better quarterback than I thought he was going to be. I don't think that he needs to be the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Maybe he's played well enough that he can earn a job with somebody else. I know he's been a 49er for 2 years. I don't know how long of a contract he signed to come to us, but I'm off the top of my head thinking that he might be a free agent after this year, but I haven't really heard anything. There's a lot of things on this football team that needs to change. Coach T, word on the street was that he was out. I have not heard that he was officially fired yet, but I think a lot of people think that it's coming sooner than later. I think that when he was hired as our head coach, I don't think that it was supposed to be a long-term situation. He was the lowest paid coach in the league. He didn't have a lot of head coaching experience. He was really sort of made fun of as a head coach throughout the preseason and starting out the season, that the Niners would put this guy into a position, but maybe York was going to be a genius. I think that honestly, York might be one of the biggest problems that we have, and the one problem I think we're going to have going out to get a head coach is you look and see the success that Jim Harbaugh had here in San Francisco and the way that he was run out of town after one bad season. This is a guy that took a team that was horrible, put us into the NFC Championship game, then took us to the Super Bowl, and then I think the next year we were in the NFC Championship game as well. Not 100% sure on that fact, but that's pretty good for the first 3 years as a coach. And after one bad year, York thinks he knows what's best for this football team, and he's now coaching in Michigan. You look at him, he had a really good year. He doesn't even have his recruits there. I think it's only going to get better from here on out. Michigan, I know they lost to Ohio State. They probably lost another game along the way, but he's going to be a damn good coach at Michigan, and we lost out. It'll probably be one of the, 10 years from now, if the Niners aren't holding a few trophies, it'll probably be the one thing we really look back on and say, hey, this is what we screwed up on. This is probably something that I wish we could go back and we could change. There's going to be a lot of holes in this San Francisco 49er football team. I think that honestly, 2 of the brightest spots that we have on this team would be Ward and Reed in our defensive backfield. Definitely Brock isn't really the cornerback that he was a couple of years ago. Maybe it's because the defense is sort of falling apart with The defensive line taking a lot of hits due to injuries and people leaving and retirement. And that's when we talk about our linebacking core. You think about last year, we ended up the year, we knew that we weren't that good. We had a pretty good record, but honestly, when you look at it, we got blown out by Seattle. And that was the one team that we really retooled up on to really build up for. And we had the guy's name who slipped through my cracks. I had it in my head a minute ago, and Patrick Willis retired. Borland, wasn't it Borland? Borland retires after a successful rookie year, looking like one of the best young studs that's going to be shaping up his team, playing with Navarro Bowman and everything like that, and he just packs up his bags and leaves. And you can't say anything bad about the guy. I mean, not everybody has to play professional football no matter how good they are. Definitely a lot of people are thinking about concussions and concussion syndrome and how it affects the rest of your life. And this is the guy that wants to raise a family and be around his kids, and he doesn't want to be one of the statistics of NFL vets these days. So he decided he'd rather have a life doing something else. So you got to give it to him. But definitely, Carlos Hyde taking a hit early on in the year, having that foot injury, and then sort of having a year a lot like McFadden would have with the Raiders, where it was always week to week. He'll be back next week. He'll be back next week, and next thing you know, this guy's on the injured reserve, and you look at it and you say this guy hasn't played in 8 weeks. I think Hyde's going to be a good back. But I think definitely we need to find out if he's going to be durable. Maybe they just looked at the season and said, hey, we have no offensive line. Let's just not get our guy killed. Let's just sit him out on the sideline. We need to find out what's going on with quarterbacking. I think that's going to be a lot to have to do with who the head coach is going to be. Definitely, if you see a guy come in here and want to have a high up-tempo offense, he's probably going to want to keep calling Kaepernick. I don't believe everything that the people have said about Kaepernick that this guy's done. He's no good. Definitely, one of the things that's been wrong with the 49ers offense the last few seasons is that we haven't really had a really big passing attack. Even last year when we had Stevie Johnson, Antoine Bolden, Michael Crabtree, it's Quentin Patton, and the guy who came back after playing, Brandon Lloyd. We had 5 really good receivers. One guy was a little bit old, but we couldn't complete a pass to save our life. Antoine Bolden has played here. He definitely hasn't put up the numbers that he's put up throughout the rest of his career, and I don't think that really falls on him. So we're going to have these picks in the draft. I think that we fell with this win to picking number 7. I don't know where we would have picked. I definitely think that we would have been like number 3, maybe number 4, but that's not official. But I know that I was really negative in a lot of the videos about the Niners the last 2 weeks, but this was a game that definitely I didn't want to win. My buddy Troy that I talk about a lot, he's a Rams fan. He didn't want to win. Every time something was going good for the opposing person's team, we were cheering for it. I was cheering for the Rams. He was cheering for the Niners. And the Niners walk out with the victory. I'm sure that this means a lot to Blaine Gabbert, Antoine Bolden, who might be playing his last football game. But we definitely have a lot of holes, offensive line, defensive line. Finding out if Jared Hayne is going to be the backup of the 49ers for Carlos Hyde. If not, we need to find another durable running back that's going to be back there. That was definitely when Hyde went down, a lot of our offense went into the can. Find somebody who's going to be able to catch the ball, somebody's going to be able to throw the ball, stopping the pass. That's a long list of problems, and we got 1 year to try and fix this. Arizona's a great team. Seattle's a great team. It looks like St. Louis is going to keep Jeff Fisher, even though they lost this game today, but anything can happen. If Jeff Fisher becomes available, I know he's a guy that not a lot of people like. I love Jeff Fisher, whether if it's from him coaching Tennessee. I've always thought that St. Louis was a good team that had a lot of quarterback injury problems. He never really having the quarterback that they wanted in there that they built their offense for. You can make a lot of excuses for him if he's not the guy that comes here. I understand that. Chip Kelly leaving the Eagles. I guess you can say he got fired. But if he comes here and he wants to run that high up-tempo offense, I'll take it. I know a lot of people are really down on the guy, but definitely you're going to be able to get this guy at a steal of a price. If not, he's going to go coach a college team. I know that was it San Jose State was a team that was on their list. I'd be really surprised if he took that job. Maybe he's just going to take a year and try and find a better college job. So we'll have to see. Lots of things out there. But 49er season, finally in the toilet. We can flush this down and say 2015 wasn't a great year. But hopefully we'll get better.